everyone, and welcome to the LTH product briefing. I am Nikki Shaver, the CEO of Legal Tech Hub, and I'm here today with Ashley Gibbs, the Senior Director, Product Value Engineers at Litera. Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. Now, Ashley, we're here to look at a product that I know a lot of people have been tremendously excited about.
Yes,
It is Foundation Insights, which is a product formerly known as Foundation Dragon. Recently
correct.
underwent a rebrand. Can you briefly tell our audience about that rebrand and what that means in terms of the product?
Yeah, absolutely. We're very excited about it. We love the name Foundation Dragon, of course, just because you can have a lot of fun with that. That kind of started as a code name as the team was building this application, and then it just stuck. So, with the rebrand, which will be seen as Foundation Insights, we're excited about that because it just contributes more to our Foundation suite of products, which really what that boils down to is having access to your firm's data in a really thoughtful way. And the slice that Foundation Insights takes out of that story is being able to get into the deep granular deal points and negotiation intelligence that makes up a firm's transactions. And so with insights, we're giving the audience the insight into that of collective work from that granular view.
Wonderful, Ashley. I am excited to have a
Yeah,
look.
absolutely. And so you should be seeing that homepage.
Yes, we can see it.
And the first thing you're going to see is that we still have it called Foundation Dragon because this is much of a new rebrand that we're embarking on. But very much, you will also see that the main part of what we're going to look at in the second half of our conversation today is around exploring the insights. And so we're going to walk through this in two parts. First, we're going to just lightly explore the work that needs to get done in order to extract out those insights. And then the second half, we're really going to spend on the power that those insights can bring from that end user. When I am a lawyer and I'm on a phone with a client and I just need to be able to give them a thoughtful answer, or I'm drafting and I need to understand what's market. And so that's where the insights are going to come into play. And so just simply starting with how the firm can get started. I've come into being able to add a deal. We support 6 document types today out of the box, ranging from real estate to NDAs to LPAs. And private M&A is where we went to market with initially, so that's where I'm going to stay. So we have out of the box document type templates, but we also let the firm explore and create their own document types as well. You're going to bring in that final executed agreement. We support the upload from iManage, from NetDocs. You can upload from Word, PDF. I've just brought this over locally for my device. And then bringing that client matter number into the fold really is going to act as that crucial fingerprint or social security number of that transaction. And then we simply upload and extract. And that's all there is to it. And we make it that simplistic because we want to invite you, the firm, to determine who's going to be doing this process. Is it the senior associate that just came off the deal? Is it the knowledge management team who's going to continue to manage that knowledge for the firm? And what we're seeing here while our dragon is doing her thing, breathing fire on the document, we're seeing those large language models in the background at work. And so we know through talking with our customers and bringing this to life that searching through a document in order to find deal points can take 6 to 8 hours per transaction. Dragon is going to be able to do her thing and pull out those insights in about 5 minutes. And she's going to bring to life close to 300 deal points in those 5 minutes. And so what those large language models are doing in the back end, we have our legal knowledge engineer team who are former practicing lawyers. They know the law well. They know the document structure well. And so using pre-configured prompts, they have let this dragon know exactly where in the document these certain deal points should be found. So there's a very efficient process where the dragon goes, pulls out the deal point, and surfaces up for the end user in a matter of minutes.
And Ashley, even though the rebrand for Foundation Insights does not include Dragon, will this little cute dragon remain in the interface?
You'd have to probably pull this dragon out of Litera's hands. No, she is not going away, I'd say. She's been a fun part of the journey and just really reminds us of our roots as we've built this and all the heart that we've put into it. So 5 minutes isn't long at all, but in the interest of time, let's actually go ahead and look at one of our previously extracted documents. So if I come into this stock purchase agreement, and again, this is part of the experience, I have access to the work that I've done or my colleagues have done in the past. And so I can pull up a previous extraction and either pick up from the workflow of somebody that's left off or simply just this is the time that I've been able to get to it. And so as mentioned, we have close to 300 deal points that have been extracted out for this private M&A stock purchase agreement. And really what we're looking at here on the left-hand side is a filled out form that one can choose to optionally review. A lot of times when needing to engage lawyers as to what took place in a transaction, they're met with a blank form that needs to be filled out, which is hard, right? I hear from friends, lawyers tend to enjoy a red pen, not a black pen. So being able to give the end user something to react to makes it a lot easier to go through and optionally take the step of verifying the information. So I mentioned, hey, maybe it's the senior associate that just got off the deal. He or she knows this work well. They can eyeball the values that have been surfaced and determine whether or not they need to lean in and learn a little bit more about what the large language models have done. So when I click into a value, I'm actually able to see the area of the document where this was found. And so I can verify the answer then and there. And I can take that step and go through all 295 of these deal points if that's the workflow that my firm would like. Or I might just simply look into maybe some of those more nuanced deal points that I want to make sure that I'm verifying and leave some of the easier answers like parties or values and dates just unverified. So we're giving you that flexibility to determine how much that you want to lean into the verification process, because whether the data has been verified or not, it's all going to make its way over into that insights database that we're going to explore in the second part of our demonstration. Now you can correct information as well. So for some reason, we can see this is accurate, but if it was not, or if I'd rather round up the number, we can correct that data and we're going to let the end user know that it's been corrected. We can verify all of the information if we want. We can push this data over into other systems. So we have a lot of flexibility of different teams that can come in and use this information. Another thing that we received as part of our feedback, bringing almost 300 deal points to life with private M&A, some firms were thinking, my goodness, that's too much information. We don't need to have all 300 of these deal points, and that might be overwhelming for a team to come in. With Foundation Insights, we give you the ability to hide fields that you don't want to use. We also give you the ability to promote fields that you might want to make sure that you're spending more time on. So from this interface, I can show only the promoted. And when I do this, I'm met with a much smaller subset. And so these might be the fields that you definitely want somebody to lean into and verify. And so the workflow can be simply that. I can come here, I can verify the information, I can spend time on it. I also can filter what's been verified and unverified. And so if you and I might be working on this deal together, you've said, okay, I verified what I can come in, go through the unverified, and now I have the rest of my workload. So again, we're not telling the firm what their workflow and a team should be that come in and do this. We're giving them the flexibility to design what that looks like.
This is amazing. As someone who grappled with this problem myself at a firm, it's like the holy grail to have this auto-populated and then to have the workflow on top of it, which allows for the ease of review, is just really helpful.
Yeah, I agree. And what I really love about it is that we're not having you compromise on anything. For those firms that felt that 300 was too much, hey, that's fine. You're going to be collecting more data than you do today, and that's okay. You're still going to be in a directionally better place than you were before without collecting this data. So promote the fields that you really want to pay attention to, but don't sacrifice any of the other nice to have data that might come in handy when you're over in the Insights database, understanding negotiation history. So I'll take us there unless you have any more questions about where we are now.
No, I think this is very clear. Thank you.
Great. Okay, so as mentioned or reinforced with each final executed agreement that I bring into the interface and upload and extract from, I am automatically building an aggregate database of past deals. And so here at my fictitious firm, I have access to 40 prior M&A deals that we have gone through and uploaded into the application. Now, the great thing is you don't have to start from scratch. Using our professional services bulk upload utility, you can bring a subset of deals into the application to get started ahead and then continue to add to it over time. So at my firm, I have 40 deals. And on the right hand side, I have a what's market view of these deals. So I can see from all of these deals that we've done, working capital has been defined in 24 of them, and 4 of them have been a locked box purchase price adjustment. And so we have this high level view. But again, if we think about why our lawyers might be needing to lean into this information, you yourself said this is a pain that you've experienced before. It's simply because you want access to all of this rich negotiation intelligence that the firm has done from the past because you need to determine what's market in a particular scenario, or you might simply be wanting to locate a document for precedence that matches the criteria of the transaction that you're about to embark on. And so using these filters that are going to emulate the deal points that we explored from the extraction page, you can very easily, really without the need for training, lean in and start engaging with this data. So I can say, you know what, in my scenario, I'm looking for deals between X and Y purchase price. And just by simply applying that criteria, I'm narrowing down into a representative set of transactions. The charts are interactive, so I can say, yep, and as part of that, I'd like to understand if these deals have had working capital defined. 300 deal points is a lot to look through, so we also support type ahead. We might be calling something different than you, so you can always start to type and look to see what's available to you. And again, through the engagement of narrowing down the data, you're bringing to life this more curated what's market view, which is great, but we are giving you, in addition, the details of all the data that exists underneath that view. And so you can compare up to 5 transactions at a time. And so if I think about a partner on the call with a client, or they're needing to understand which deal to lean into to pull down for drafting, I have this nice landscape view of the deal points on the left and the values for these respective deals in the middle. And so I can determine that in my example, the purchase price is a little bit closer to this particular value. So I can pull this document down from the document management system and start to draft. Or I can just understand, hey, in these 3 scenarios, 2 out of 3 are leaning towards cash versus a cash stock. So that's my recommendation. The use cases that firms are leveraging this for are endless because we're simply very efficiently providing and surfacing the data in really digestible ways. And so the sky's the limit, especially with the sort of self-service component that we're providing for how firms are going to bring this to life.
This is fantastic. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
if people want to learn more about this, which no doubt they will, and I
Yeah.
imagine so about the general rebrand, because there are a number of other products that now also fall under Foundation. It makes for a very strategic story around data from who should they reach out to?
Well, absolutely. A lot of our lit customers, they have their account executive or the customer success representative that they're meeting with in a cadence. So please reach out to them. Quite simply, though, you can come to the website, come to our Foundation Product Suite page and request a demonstration, and we will absolutely, I will be seeing you on the other side of that.
Wonderful. Ashley, we will put a URL at the bottom of the screen. It's easy for everyone to reach out. And this was terrific. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time.